I am but one man, and one who you may not agree with. But with absolute certainty I can say this. Regardless of an individual's judgment on the fundamentals of governance, or the abundance of adequate management producing substance for governments, threats of suffering and excess punishment will not deter the cunning, instead they'll flourish with it. Risk it all like grabbing a hot tray without an oven mitt. Now the cunning or the stupid, a fine line between the two. One implies brilliance while the other is without a clue. However, the line becomes finer as the hairs begin to split, and that's those people who had the capability but instead turned their lives to shit. And how do you regulate those prone to poor choices? Do you dedicate time to educate their minds, or do you legislate and make it a crime, put them behind a metal grate and make them wait out their time? And what if the victim is naught but the individual? If the dim-witted imbecile is the only one miserable? To an extent, maybe. However, the people that made these rules and laws were not stupid. They did not ignore the fact that the user's body is the victim and the user will be the only one we mourn. They acknowledge this, however, see it merely as a factor. One chapter packed in the overflowing stacks of paper relating to the matter that led to your capture. For the product was sourced, produced and transported before you abused it, and of course force was used to subdue poor cunts with nothing to lose, but everything to gain. These poor cunts had everything to gain. Financial stability, substantial capital, and a special tax status placing them on a mantle. Notoriety for privately, quietly and reliably providing a variety of highs to those who suffer anxiety at the thought of sobriety. They are the almighty who write the rules by which they live, selling their pricey ice, wearing nice brightly coloured Nikes with not too many fucks to give. But these poor souls don't care about the turmoil they've created. The lunatics they've made out of dudes who just used to get blazed and now witness the chaotic mess at the hands of psychotic meth heads, idiotic addicts of the hypnotic narcotic. Their frantic logic and off-topic nonsense, a product of the barbaric inner manic that's ironically called a conscience. Ironic in the sense that it's supposed to give you reasoning, but try and explain the moral deficiencies of stealing to an addict that's feeding. You've got what I want and I want what you've got. I'm not scared to miss meeting Jesus, to accept be greeted by demons. Not fussed if I'm busted up, beaten and bleeding, wounds weeping and leg, I'm screaming and shrieking till my chest stops heaving and I'm not breathing. I won't stop. You can feel the fearless grimace of gratitude. Their stone statue face almost thanking you. But the attributes of their habit creates an acidic attitude bent on havoc, where all attempts to assist are met with resistance when the substance is in their system. In an instant their brilliance is missing, and their twisted reluctance to seek forgiveness for the trouble they've constructed leaves nothing but skin and bones as their only asset, corrosive like maggots in a casket. However, redemption is a possibility, and that's why the word exists. You are not exempt from responsibility, so take this serious, don't take the piss. Third-party judgment is irrelevant. It's not even worth discussing. It's the evidence of definite intelligence being neglected that is truly disgusting. However, what once was will always still exist. And like the rising of a full moon from behind a lunar eclipse, I will predict that when equipped with a few tricks and the courage to admit, providing a strictly scripted description with no contradictions, no opinion or fiction, no self-deception or justifying reflections, no perceptions of glory can come from your awful story, just a raw depiction of the pain you've inflicted on those that actually gave a shit and tried to pull you out of that pit. And when you finally say, I've changed my ways and my good judgment is here to stay, then it will all start to click. And now the path to recovery will be filled with ugly discoveries and you'll be the victim of cruel connotations. But show implementation of your declarations, and of course show remorse when you explain the situation and talk without pause until your voice is hoarse if that's what it takes to prove that you've changed, and more than that, actually act instead of acting. Because then if nothing else, bro, for you, I'll be here clapping. Thank you.
Woo!